Hi everyone, I'm Aaron Wills, and it's my pleasure today to be sharing with you one of my family tabletop dice fight games, Ready to Roll. This game accommodates 1 to 6 players, takes less than 5 minutes to learn, and finishes in about 20 minutes. I think you'll find that this game brings both an innovative freshness while also maintaining a classic family game feel. You'll detect a little take that flavor from Uno, some Yahtzee-like elements where your goals may change mid-turn depending on some new and unexpected outcomes. There are cards and dice and score sheets and tense moments and some laughing moments, strategic decision-making moments, and just the right amount of good old-fashioned luck built in as well, just like the favorite classics. But I think you'll see that this game is different. There really isn't another one like it. So let's take a look now at how to play.
Round up some friends, grab a pencil, and tear off a score sheet, then get ready to roll through some good times at your game table. When everyone is ready to roll, you'll roll the dice and set the dice tracker to match the roll. You'll then put the dice aside and begin to play cards to change the values of the dice. Hopefully, when all the card playing stops, the final values of the dice will match up with some of your scoring criteria to earn you some points. But hold on tight, because everyone is playing on the same set of dice, and everyone has different scoring criteria, so the card-slapping dice fight can be quite a wild ride. Set up the game by separating the yellow locking cards from the blue action cards and give each player the number of cards shown based on the number of players in your game. Each player will also need to choose a starting box on the score sheet and mark it with a star. Make sure each player is starting in a different box. It doesn't matter where you begin, you'll get to visit all the boxes as the game progresses. Set the red, blue, and green dice tracking mats in the center of the table and add the corresponding tracking tokens. There are 2 more things to do before you're ready to roll. First, preview the criteria in your scoring box so you'll know how to earn points in the first round of the game. At the end of the round, if the dice have the values described in your scoring box, you'll get to collect those points for the round. The other thing to do before you're ready to roll is to draw your first 5 action cards from your personal draw pile into your hand. You'll use these cards and also your locking cards to change the value of the dice to your favor. If everyone has 5 action cards in their hands and has previewed their scoring boxes, you're ready to roll for the first round of the game. One player rolls the dice and immediately places the tracking tokens on the counting lines. You can then set the dice aside until the next round. Players may then play as many cards as they like to change the value of the dice. There's no taking turns, it's a dice fight. Play any cards at any time, then immediately change the tracking token to match the new value of the die. Always keep 5 action cards in your hand until your personal draw pile runs out. Anytime you play a card, set the tracking token, then draw another card into your hand immediately so that you will still have 5. But remember, when you run out of action cards and locking cards, you won't get any more, so play them wisely during the 6 rounds of the game. When playing action cards, any number subtracted below 0 simply stops at and becomes 0. The same is true when adding on. Your upper limit is 19. And don't forget to draw another card from your personal draw pile each time you play an action card so that you always have 5 in your hand. Players may also choose to play a locking card at any time during the round so that no more cards may be played on that die. When all 3 dice are locked, or when card playing stops, it's time to score the round. Each player checks their scoring box against the final values of the dice, then writes the total points earned for the round. Now it's time to clear the cards from the mats, reset the counting tokens to 0, and get ready for round 2. Players follow the arrows on the score sheet to the next scoring box, look it over, and when everybody is ready to roll, shake the dice and let them go. The dice fight starts again as players change the dice values to their advantage based on their new scoring criteria. Spend your cards wisely as you continue through 6 rounds of dice fights, and when your score sheet is full, total up the points and congratulate the winner. And that's how you play Dice Fight. Ready to roll?
Alright, so there's the game in a nutshell, and I hope you were able to see that the unique scoring criteria really makes this game stand out. You see, in each round, each player has different scoring goals that they're trying to achieve on a shared set of dice. For example, this player is hoping for 3 of a kind for 5 points. If the red, green, and blue dice add up to 9 or fewer, that will score 3 points. They'll earn 2 points if no dice are locked at the end of the round, and 1 point if there's at least 1 5. But meanwhile, other players are aiming for different scoring criteria using the same dice. So each move that one player makes directly affects all the other players and their scoring opportunities. So there's constant player interaction and simultaneous engagement. By the end of the game, all players will have visited all 6 scoring boxes so that the goals are naturally balanced and fair to all players. In all of my Dice Fight games, I strive for that continuous engagement for everyone at the table. In family games in particular, high engagement is what works and makes the players want to come back and play again another time. And because this is a real-time game, there's no turn taking. It's always your turn. It's always everyone's turn. Everyone is always engaged. Another intentional feature in this game is the cyclical ebb and flow of the energy. During each round, there's a tension that builds up as players are strategizing and then sometimes have to change course on the moment as they adjust to other players' moves. But then when the round ends, the tension subsides and there's usually some laughing and some fun banter about the round as players add up their scores. Then when everyone's ready to roll again, the tension and the energy ramps back up again and the cycle continues through the 6 rounds of the game. Well, I have just loved getting some feedback from the judges in the Board Game Workshop contest. Here's what a few of them had to say after reviewing the game. One said, "This game looks very well thought out with what seems to be a unique and engaging scoring mechanism." Another said, "This seems like a well-thought game. Clean, easy to understand, impossible to master, and freaking chaotic." I like the mix between the speed and the reflection. This is one of the games that interests me the most. Hey, 30 minutes, up to 6 players, fast and fun? Sign me up. I've also play tested this game several times with some very successful board game designers in the St. Louis area and have been encouraged by their responses as well. In addition to getting a few ideas for some minor tweaks here and there, designers have recently said, "There's a classic game feel here, but with a totally fresh approach. I think people who like the classics would love this game." Another said, "I don't like roll and writes at all, except this one." But another designer jumped in and said, "But this game really isn't a roll and write. It isn't a card game. It isn't a dice game. It's actually all of that." And that's what makes this game innovative. It's a unique combination of many familiar things all rolled into a family game that feels fresh and new. It has a surprisingly complex combination of all the simplistic elements that good family games have. One deck shuffling and dealing, clear, simple components. It's quick to learn. It has high replayability, including the opportunity to add new score sheets for later on. It has high player interactivity. It's fun for all generations, and of course that continuous simultaneous engagement. And there's the innovation. It's a combination of all those classic game elements presented in a new way that today's family game players enjoy. You know, it's been said that invention is the creation of something completely new. Innovation, on the other hand, is when we take multiple things that we already know and combine them or remix them in different ways so that the result is, again, something new that wasn't there before. I think you'll find that innovation in Dice Fight, Ready to Roll. And I hope you'll check it out further. More importantly, I hope it ends up on your game table someday so that you and your gaming friends can enjoy the fun. Hey, thanks for watching, and thanks for your support.